Hey everyone, it's me, who I am. This video is going to be a little low effort because I feel like I should review this album because everyone is talking about it. It's been all over the place and I've seen so many people gush over it over and over again, and it's a big deal. That would be Taylor Swift's Folklore, and I thought I should review it, but I don't really have much to say about it at all. And that's the thing, is, like I said, I want to review it, I want to get in on this, and give my opinion, but I don't know how I'm going to fill out an entire video of this, because I just don't have anything to say about it. Now, Taylor Swift is a pop music industry giant. She is a powerhouse who has made hit after hit for years now. For pretty much as long as I can remember, she's been around. I'm only 17, and she's been one of the biggest pop stars in my lifetime. Not only in pop, but also in country. And I feel like she's kind of defined a lot of what a modern pop star is. And she's done a really great job in the past. For example, 1984 is a very great pop album with some really amazing singles like Blank Space and Wildest Dreams, and one of my favorite pop hits of the 2010s, Style. And the album as a whole was really solid. A lot of fun songs on there, some deep cuts like Welcome to New York. Really just a solid album. But ever since then, she's kind of gone downhill. Reputation had pretty mixed reviews, to say the least. And Lover, which was the one I listened to when it came out in 2019, I listened to all the way through, I thought was rather boring. So she hasn't really been doing the best lately. And this new album is out, and, you know, a lot of people really like it. A lot of Taylor fans really enjoy it, and I'm really glad that they're loving this album because it's very genuine. She really pours her heart out onto this album and all of her feelings. There's not much wit, there's no like irony or anything, but it's just so genuine. Like I said, she just puts all her emotions to paper and puts it on the song, and I feel like it's good for her to have gotten that all out, and it's a record Taylor needed to make, and I'm glad it's doing so well. I'm glad that the fans are enjoying it so much, and I'm glad that it has fanfare, because she is a very talented woman. She makes some great music. She's made some great music in the past, and I'm glad that she's back on top after two pretty big misses, in my opinion. Um, but I cannot get into Folklore. I struggled my way through it, to be quite honest. I got about halfway through the first time I listened to it, and I pretty much struggled my way through my second listen. It was tough. I found myself very bored, very unengaged. I found it hard to get invested in any of the songs. A lot of the songs really blended together for me. They were all very slow, the same tempo, very similar instrumentation, very similar ideas being thrown at the wall, and none of them really captured my attention at all or captured my imagination. I couldn't find myself getting into any of them, and this album was like 16 or 17 tracks long, which I think is a problem across all of pop music, is that their albums tend to be a little long. Even albums I love, like Carly Rae Jepsen's Emotion, is a little too long than it justifies being. And that's a big problem with this album, is it's long, and a lot of it just blends together. None of these songs really stand out at all. There aren't any bad songs on the album by any means, but there aren't really any great songs either, with the exception of one, that being Mirrorball. I thought that was a really pretty song. Taylor's vocals were kind of hushed, but sounded amazing, and the instrumentation was so dreamy, and her harmonies on the hook sounded great. It's not really much of a hook, a chorus, because it's not catchy at all, but that song stood out as being really good. But everything else, like I said, none of it stood out as being necessarily bad, but it just kind of happened, you know. What I can say is I think the production is really great. It's definitely sweet on the ears to listen to. It's just, I have no reason I ever want to come back to this. And like I said, I'm very glad Taylor Swift fans are enjoying this album, because it's an album that she made from the heart, and she wanted to share these emotions with her fans, and that's good. That's great, and I'm glad all the fans are enjoying it. It's just personally not for me. I have no reason to ever come back to it. I don't see myself ever coming back to it. And I know what some people are saying, but Riley, it's such a good heartbreak album. And you know what? It is a good heartbreak album. For someone who doesn't listen to a lot of music, if you're more of an every once in a while kind of person, if you're not into the music scene, if you're just like a fan of Taylor Swift and not generally like a fan of all music and you don't take it like as seriously as someone like I do, then yeah, it's probably a great breakup album and a great heartbreak album. But personally, I already have the perfect heartbreak album, and that's called A Moon Shaped Pool. And honestly, there are about 100 other albums I would listen to in the case of a heartbreak over this one. The Glow Part 2, um, 808s and Heartbreak, Blonde, Disintegration, American Football. Just so many things I would personally rather go to. But if you enjoy it, that's good for you. I know I'm not necessarily in Taylor Swift's target demographic. This album wasn't meant for someone like me. This album was meant for her to get these feelings off of her chest and to pour her heartbreak and everything out and get it all out and share it with her fans who may be experiencing something similar. And that's great. I just personally am not into it. Like I said, none of the tracks really stand out to me at all. They all blended together, and I just could not get invested. I could not really enjoy myself. I was bored pretty much the entire time. But that's just my opinion. I'm feeling a 5 out of 10 on this. It's not bad by any means. It's just really not my thing. I know this review was really quick. Um, I just didn't have much to say because honestly, I just did not connect with it, and that's all. Um, I don't know if I'm even going to put this out, but that's all I have to say, and I'll see you all next time.